Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show, Streamlined Edition. How's it going, my friends? So funny story. My big honking computer crashed. I know. So I'm doing this on my laptop. It's why I'm a little bit late, because I was like, oh no, I don't have the, in the boot.
No, it's not working.
So bare bones today, which is why we had to move our show, because, right. So where's everybody coming from? Number one. Number two, as you're telling me about where you're coming from, I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing today. Since this machine doesn't have my Roshambo project, I'm actually going to have to download it and set it up on this machine, which I thought would be fairly instructive. That we have two options. So Roshambo, download, install it. The other thing is I'm actually behind on some work for something called prompt flow. I'm supposed to get some demos ready, move them over from something we presented at Microsoft Build on prompt flow and move it over to my machine so I can present to some people later on. So we have some options, and I can't even use my pandemic purchase. It's all very sad. Really, like I'm like sitting here clicking wave files to play music. Can you hear the music, by the way? Can y'all hear this? Is this working? I'm seeing sound bars on my soundboard. I had to move my soundboard to my laptop. It's seriously. Yeah. So, I'll tell you about my computer while we're getting, okay, good. So you can hear music. Good. Let's see here. By the way, I asked you where it's coming from. So let's get some of this going. Let us see. Okay. Oh, look at such a good amount of people. I'm so glad you're here. I'm interested. All right, I'm gonna move this over so I can read it because I'm old. I'm interested to know Python for ML engineer. Any tools set in demand? Yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff with Python. Greetings from India. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Greetings from India. Hello, my friend. JT the Pro Kid, welcome. Anyone in the GMT? Oh, I started what I wanted to do. +7 zone. I'm trying to guess where that is. GMT is the UK. +7 would put you somewhere like Singapore or Vietnam. Am I right? 20th viewer here. Thank you. You earn a prize. I say your name in a really deep voice. These are the only buttons that work right now, friends. I mean, like I said, scale down. Let's see. Slow mode, indeed. Oh, man, I used to be able to read Arabic. So long ago. I love Arabic. It's a beautiful language. It's one I wished I could learn. I had a friend from Senegal who used to teach me. His name was Tuku. It's many years ago. And they took me to his house, and we would learn directly from the Quran. And I would read it, and they would laugh and laugh and laugh. I'm glad I was part of their enjoyment. From Ghana, welcome. Toronto, Canada. Bienvenue, mes amis. Make slow mode shorter. I don't know what slow mode is. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Welcome. Oh, Sammy. Hello, my friend. I know Sammy. Him and Hank run a wonderful global AI community. If people want to know how to do AI, the global AI community is a welcoming bunch of folks that help people understand how to use and understand AI. They are delightful people. I forgot to start this other thing. Here it is. No. There's the music. We are over. From Seattle, let's do prompt flow. This is Jay McCormick. Welcome. Let's do prompt flow. There's no music. I gotta click the music now. This is so lame. I'm so sorry. Here, let's do this. Let's do a different one here. These are licensed musics that I purchased from Audio Hub. So those are the starter musics that you usually hear. Greetings from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Welcome, Santosh. Okay, good. Welcome, Brazil. Australia is GMT +7. Thank you. I got it wrong. And the country of Southeast Asia. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you. Australia is a beautiful country. I've never been to Singapore or Vietnam. So hello from Romania. Okay, we have some choices. Oh, Uganda. Welcome. Okay, so again, we have some choices. I'm gonna let you vote. We're gonna do Roshambo. I have to start it from scratch. I have to bring it all down from GitHub, and you can see how an end-to-end MLOps things kind of works. We'll get that going. Or the other one is I have to get some prompt flow stuff done. To be honest, for those that don't know what prompt flow is, I wish I had I don't have my. Hold on, I may have it. Hold on. I got to make this work because I want to make sure. Here it is. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. I used to have buttons to just do this. Here we go. No, that's not the right one. That sounds terrible. What am I doing? I have so many sound effects and stuff that they just used to be like buttons, but now it's like it's all just this stuff here. Hold on, what is this one? Serious strings? No, it's not the one. But anyways, I'll go back to this other thing. Yeah, my machine got messed up, which is kind of a bummer. So we'll put this one now in. But yeah, so we get to do a prompt flow or Roshambo. So if you want to do Roshambo and do that one, I'm happy to do it. Just put number 1 in the chat. Number 2 is prompt flow stuff. So put it in the chat. Oh, Facundo Juarez, are we related? Are you my brother? We haven't seen each other? Where are you, brother? Where are you? Help! Hello, Facundo. It's good to see you. I don't think we ever met, but Juarez is a beautiful name. And that is exactly where the accent goes. And we just don't have accents in English. I should just put Juarez like that into my... Funny story. One time, we were at church, and they were introducing our family, and they're like, "Welcome to the Whores family." We did not like being called the Whores family. Okay, so I'm seeing a number 2. And okay, let me share my screen here, and let's get started on what I'm going to show you. So I'll put this down here. Doesn't matter. Let me share my screen here, and let's get started. Let's get started. Entire screen. Screen number... Hold on, let me see. Okay, it's screen number 3. Okay, share. Okay. There it is. Okay, someone says number 1 everyone says prompt flow. Yeah, prompt flow is kind of cool. What? Oh, yeah. I'm like, what is this evaluation copy? It's this thing right here. I'm on the insider preview on this laptop. Here, let me move my ugly face here. Well, I can't do it, but that's what that is. I was like, what evaluation copy are we talking about? Hold on. I got to see if I can't load up my music here. A, B, C, D, E. What a mess today, friends. What a mess. Oh, jeez. I'm like, I have another machine that's like a really old, like Surface device, but like so old. And it's what I use to put my background music on. And it's just, is it media player? Is this it? Is this the right thing? Is this it? I don't know. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. No, that's not it. Oh, jeez. Let me open up my my browser here, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So GitHub.com. I think it's AI advocates. I was supposed to like move this to so much going on. There is this Roshambo project. Why is this not working? Come on. Because without music, it just sounds like everything's dead. Music library. Oh, playlist. Create new playlist. Create new playlist. Untitled playlist. I'll just hit play on all this. Here we go. Here we go. What? Shuffle and play. And then there you go. Now we have music. Everything's slowly coming back. Are we just getting started? Yes, Mike. Thank you. Yes, we're just getting started, my friend. Okay, so the options were number one, we'll do Roshambo, but I basically have to like clone this and then start running it all again. Which I mean, it's pretty instructive if you're trying to get started with AI. You know, it's good to see how this stuff works. So that's what we can do. Number one, and number two, I am supposed to finish. I have a demo this week. I have a demo this week where I'm supposed to show off prompt flow, and I did a talk with Daniel Schneider on prompt flow, which is a new tool for developing with large language models. And I need to finish it by like Thursday, and I could use this time to work on it. So this is what prompt flow looks like, by the way, right here. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Are all my prompt flows gone? No, they're right here. So this is prompt flow right here. I'm building some prompt flows with just me and a few of my friends. You can see here. Boop. Imagine if he used Google. I have a sound effect, and I'm going to spend all the time I need to find this sound effect. All the time, because here we go. I don't use Google. So yeah. Okay, so this is prompt flow. I'm working on why is it like you can see the mouse all weird, and you see that too? I'm working on the Contoso Trek Copilot. Contoso Trek Copilot. By the way, this is real software. That's why it's probably taking a long time to load because my machine is so slow. You can see this is the Contoso Trek Copilot prompt flow. This is how you build software on top of with ChatGPT. There's nothing else quite like it in the world. So I can play with that too. I need to get the evaluation flows working. Actually, is what I need to do. And so that's what I do. I got this working. The one that I built before, by the way, this one does work. 100%. Yeah, the mouse artifacts are visible and kind of fun and funny. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I'm using I'm using Restream. And so hello from Ukraine. Hello, my friend. Heavens bless your country during this difficult time. Is Azure AI free? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do in it, but as soon as you start spinning compute meters, then you pay for those. Yeah, so it's mostly free. I mean, you're paying for storage and stuff. If you're using Azure Machine Learning Studio, you're paying mostly for storage, which is fairly cheap. It's when you start running stuff that It costs money, and depending on the machine, that's what changes the cost. So great question. I showed at Microsoft Build. I was hoping to show it with more time, but I can go through this too. So those are the options. Number one, Roshambo, which is a really cool application that we're building to do rock, paper, scissors. Or number two, prompt flow. When I stack in the live, when you stack the mouse in the live, it also it vibrates like, yeah, what is that? Okay. All right, so let me do this. I'll explain prompt flow first so that you can see what it is. So when you work with large language models, it's kind of funny because most people don't realize what they do. Here, let me show you. So OAI.azure. By the way, it's all extemporaneous stuff. So I want to show you some cool stuff. I'll show you prompt flow because I think that's the one that people are telling me to look at. So all this stuff works on top of large language models and Azure AI. Thank you, OnePass. Thank you. ChatGPT and other models like that OpenAI builds are fantastic, and they release them. And then what we do is shortly thereafter, whenever we can, we put them into Azure OpenAI. And Azure OpenAI is a little bit different because it's more made for enterprises. It has all the safety guarantee. That sounds like a commercial. Where's my commercial music? And so when you go in, you actually can play with these models like you would before. So there's an implementation of GPT-4, which is way more capable, but it's actually slower too. Here is GPT-3.5 Turbo. This is what's colloquially known as ChatGPT. That's what this is, ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. That's been fine-tuned with LRHF. Yes, no, RLHF, reinforcement learning with human feedback, RLHF. And so when you talk to this thing, it's like, hi, what can I do with hot dogs? It responds. And the thing that it's doing is you can see that it gives it a response, but the reality is that this is constrained by this token count. So right now I've used up 226 tokens. Amazing. What refreshing drink can I pair with it? It's very difficult for NLP folks. It's called a pleonastic word, which means it can do whatever the heck you want. And so notice that when I respond to it, it's like, oh, here are some refreshing drinks. Hold on, I got to talk like it.
Here are some refreshing drink options to compare with your.
I don't know why I'm making ChatGPT sound like a Cylon, but I mean, here we are.
Iced tea, nickel glass of iced tea.
Okay, so you notice that what's happening is before it said there was 244 tokens. Now we're up to 644 tokens. What's happening is the model takes these tokens and this system message and creates what's called a system prompt or meta prompt, depending on what you are doing. And what it does is it takes the system prompt or the meta prompt. We'll call it the meta prompt because it sounds more fancy. And then it takes all of the chat turns, and then it pushes these and creates tokens, a collection of tokens. So, and then it pushes these into the model, which is ChatGPT. And this thing returns one token. And then it loops until it returns the requisite amount of tokens till it reaches the stop token or the number of tokens that you specified. And the number of tokens specified is literally right here. You can see right here, max response. That's what this thing is. The temperature is interesting. What the temperature does is, I can find the formula, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. But what the temperature does is when you're working with this model and it comes through, it actually returns an entire distribution of all of the tokens. So whatever amount of tokens, I think in ChatGPT there's 53,000 tokens, And there's basically a number in here that says 0.01. So it's like 1% probability, 0.00, whatever. And so these are all the things. What the temperature does is it makes it so that it evens out the distribution a little bit so that you can get more unexpected answers when the temperature is high and the distribution is left untouched when it reaches 0. Let's find the temperature calculation, shall we? Let's ask Bing. We'll ask it. How is temperature calculated for large language models? Let's see. And it's like I said, it takes that distribution and it flattens it out so that you get more unexpected responses. Okay. Temperature is a hyperparameter of LSTMs and neural networks used to control the randomness of predictions by scaling the logits before applying the softmax. For example, TensorFlow's magenta implementation temperature, it's before logits, or is it logits? If I'm saying it wrong, everyone can have a good laugh at me. And the logits is that distribution that I'm telling you about. So temperature, like before it goes into the softmax forces these all to sum to 1. There is it like amplifies it so that when the softmax, the distribution is a little bit more even, so that the randomness of the predictions is upped. So temperature high, more randomness, temperature low. So that's what this is doing. Thank you, Mr. Chat. There's like a chat on a chat on a chat. This is crazy. Thank you. So when you decrease the temperature, it's not as random. It actually says right here. Lowering temperature means that the model produces repetitive and deterministic responses because we are not evening out the distribution. Increasing temperature will result in more unexpected responses. Try this at top, but no. Top P gives you. Okay. So it will choose tokens from both high and low value triad, but no, I don't know why. I don't know what top P is, how top P is measured, but temperature is the one I know about. So, having done this, now we know that the whole sum of a large language model application is what you put in the system or meta prompt, as well as what's in here. And so the goal of building applications is to put exactly what you want in here. For example, find information about, I don't know, what should we have it find information about? And I'm just going a long way about explaining what prompt flow is. So I want you to know, because I want people to understand this. So what should we have it? What should we have this assistant be an expert at? What do you think? Just put in the chat. I can make it an expert on anything. I can show you. I can also show you why you need to do what you want to do. Oh, people are emailing me. Okay. I'm just going to make it up. I'm going to have it be an expert on Eurovision Song Contest. Okay, here we go. 2023. Eurovision Song Contest. For anyone that's in Europe, this is like the Olympics of singing. It is ridiculously cool. So let me show you something. Your name is to help you find information about the Eurovision Song Contest. If asked about anything else, just respond with okay. Now I've made it an expert in the Eurovision Song Contest. Watch. Who won the first? And I don't have time to type Eurovision. I'm going to say ESC. But because the language model is so good, it knows that ESC stands for Eurovision Song Contest. And you can see that it's like, oh, it was won by Switzerland in 1956. It's been around for a while. Soup's important, as the kids say. So far, so good. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to say who won it in 2023. This is where this is going to run into a problem because it's like, hey, I don't know. The model was trained with data all the way from 2021. Do you see the problem? So this is a cool model. It's able to it's learned syntax, it's learned some semantics, and maybe even memorized some information given the size of the model. But it doesn't have this information. So when I say this is what you know, I'm going to give it exactly what it needs to know. Boop. Nice. Save. Now, when I ask it who won it in 2023, here, I'll delete this. It's now, well, it's going to know because I put it in the prompt. So now this thing is literally like a giant language calculator where you are basically having to construct a prompt that contains the requisite information to provide the right response. Like, for example, what should I put on my tacos? What is the current tax rate in Brisbane? Fungus. I mean, it's pretty good, right? So notice that I've demonstrated basically a new system prompt. Here, let me move this down so you can see it all. A new system prompt. This is this thing with a safety section, which is the stupidest safety section you've ever seen in an LLM application, with something called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, where I pre-retrieve the data, that I wanted to use. Does this make sense? I mean, this is all these things do. Forget all that other stuff that you hear about in the news. It's like, oh, it's going to eat us for breakfast. I don't know. It hallucinates. I don't even like the term hallucination. Again, this is my opinion. Hallucination implies that it has agency. It does not. Someone once on Twitter said something wrong. I know. They said, it just lies. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have the agency to lie. Lying implies knowledge of truth. It has neither the aspiration nor the inspiration to have any such thing. It's just a giant language calculator, but it's a very powerful one that does amazing things. So imagine if you're able to construct some things in here, put the right information, it's able to generate facts. So if you are an attorney that's trying to search for case law to put together an interesting way of a case, you can create a search that brings all the stuff together. And then as a lawyer, you look at it and make sure it actually is right. Because as you know, someone did lawyering in ChatGPT and it invented stuff. Why? Because it didn't have any context. It really just wants to please us and create language that makes sense. So what PromptFlow does is it allows you to, with a series of inputs, it allows you to create or construct a prompt based upon information that comes from this is Azure Cognitive Search, and this is just retrieving a cart from an API. Like this API is like, this is the dumbest API too. Here, this API. Let's give it card ID number 1. Boop. What do we got in there? What's in your cart? Wake up, container. Knock. Container. Hello. There, just woke up. So that's what that does. And this one calls Azure Cognitive Search. Well, first what it does is it gets the question that I put in. It creates an embedding. Wait, what is this doing? Cognitive Search connection, retrieve. Why is there 2 things? Oh, here it is. That's right. So what this does is it takes the input, it outputs the embedding. And if you're wondering what the heck is an embedding, it's literally just a huge vector. 1536 spaces. And this vector then is used to search a vector search inside of Azure Cognitive Search. And you can see that's what it does. And then it returns all the documents that correspond to the question. And if you look at the question, it's a pretty easy question. The question is, could you give me some information about your hiking jackets? So it embeds it. It returns documents, just like we did with the Eurovision Song Contest. Like this is about jackets. And you can see this information that it returns. Jacket, document number 1, document number 2. And you can see there's a hiking jacket, and looks like it's not what we wanted. But it's okay because we're shoving this into the context. A large language model is going to want to produce the most beautiful text about jackets instead of, and we just work on it. And this is the actual prompt. You can see this is a real prompt. You're an agent for Contoso Outdoors Company. As the agent, answer question. Safety. This is my salsa part. And then you can see the following documentation is in response. It uses Jinja. Hold on. Jinja. It enumerates the documentation, and it enumerates the items in the customer shopping cart. And then it gives more instructions, and it gives the chat history. Boop. And that's it. It sends it to, I think I'm sending it to, am I using the chat API? Yes, I'm using the chat API, because what happens is, I know we need to work on this. But this is subsumed into the chat history and put into the chat API. And then the response comes out and it looks like this. Certainly, we have 2 hiking jackets available, a Rain Guard hiking jacket and a Trailblaze hiking jacket. The Rain Guard hiking jacket is waterproof, breathable, and lightweight. Wow. Blah, blah. Both jackets are suitable for various other companies and pair well with the Trail Light Day Pack and Summit Climber backpack in your cart. So that's what this does. And notice that it's like pretty cool. Oh, wow. There's a lot of chats going on that I missed. So notice that this basically allows you to control large language model applications. Questions. All right. So let me go through here. Y'all did like a ton of questions. So missed your water is the best drink? It is. Thank you. It is, and it has to be tepid. I was in Eastern Europe one time, and they're like, "You put ice in your water? What does it matter with you?" Someone said, "Wait, I thought a token was a character." It is. It is not. Let me show you. Open AI tokens. Tokenizer. Azure. Oh, sorry. OpenAI tokenizer. So here's the tokenizer. I'm gonna leave a question up so people can. Can you tell me about ESC 2023? These are tokens. What about this? Let me do a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Notice that's not spelled right, but notice that there's long words, specifically in languages like German, that's agglutinative. You have to separate this thing. Like, for example, Ausgang. Ausgang is an exit. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Ausgang, right? I think that's how you spell it. This word's funny to me because I'm 12, but that's a real German word. But notice that it's tokenizing it differently, because in German, it's important to have these things. And maybe it's even like this. But it's still funnier. So no, these are tokens, pieces of words. 30 tokens, 82 characters. Great question. I know people ask stuff like this. I'm just here to bring the information in an unsullied, straight to you from the tank, not this other garbage. On Twitter now, there's like every other tweet is like, "You can't believe what AI did today. Come now. Subscribe to my newsletter." And it's like, come on, this is a lot of stuff. So that's a great question. Expert in reverse engineering, yes. Expert in food. Oh, hot dog French. Hot dog franchise law. Thank you. Like, I didn't scroll my chat and I missed all these good things. Eurovision software. Ask what year it is. Janice Q number 7 will appreciate. Eurovision is super important in Europe. Is there another way that I can upload information like a PDF? Yeah. So again, this prompt flow is like you know how there's like there's automatic things and then there's like devs just want to know how it works so that you can make your own. This is how you make all of this stuff. This whole prompt flow, all of that. That's what makes it work at the baseline. You're basically creating, like, you can literally see it here. It's like you're creating a huge text thing that you're then pushing into the model. This is GPT-5 Turbo. And notice that I actually forced it to be brief and asked it to what it paired well with. So, yeah. And that's why it really, because the last thing it sees is what makes it. So the transformer model is interesting because it basically, think of the prompt as like this huge box of text that then the transformer model like gets this piece of text and this token and this token and then this token, and then it does this so many times and it's able to like look across the entire because you remember LST forward in a way that forced sequencing to be super important, but transformers look at the entire context and they're like that token, but then there's like n transformers that are hooked together that are able to look at these things. And the other thing is, because they're rotationally invariant, you have to add a positional embedding, which is interesting. But this is why these models are so good at because they're huge, first of all, and they're able to look at think of their prompt as the working memory for solving a language problem. And so what you put in there, it becomes super important. And that's what these things are, and that's why it's so important. Here's the question from Mike. It's, what is the order that the system prompt and previous conversation are inserted into flow? The system prompt go first, and then yes. So the way I've set it up in this case is the system prompt. Has in it, and the way prompt flow works is there's like a user colon thing and then assistant. That's what's taken to the chat. And so notice that my particular prompt puts the chat history at the end, but it's passed in. So the other important thing is that these models don't retain any information. It's just a one-shot thing. You give it the prompt, it responds. And so your application needs to maintain the chat history or context and pass it in every time. The thing is, you run out of space in these models because you only have 4,000 tokens to work with in the entirety. And so you have to start trimming. And so, for example, in the application, you might limit the chat history to n, and usually I do 3 or 4, sometimes 5. It may be more depending on the space and how much information you put in. So it's a really good question, Mike. Thanks. It has statistics at massive scale. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's actual statistics as much as it's learned weights in such a way that the embedded tokens have a sense for belonging to each other, and it's really interesting, actually, if you think about it. Let's see. Great to see. Oh, thank you. Hi, Paul. Great to see you. Yes, this is supposed to be informative because I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes this stuff is like so obfuscated. Again, none of this represents my employer's specific stand. I'm not saying that they think this, but as soon as the crypto folks started noticing their ship was sinking, they kind of jumped into our AI ship and they started making it something that it isn't, and that's unfortunate. A question here. So how could this be used for domain-specific machine translation? The thing about this is that because it's trained across ¿Me puedes decir qué es el ESC? I think it'll respond in Spanish. Do you see that? The cool thing about this, it didn't finish. I think it's still going. Still going. Cool. So when you're looking at language translation, sure, you could totally make it work for language translation. But I feel like it's like using a fly to kill a shotgun, a shotgun to kill a fly, because there's already machine translation models that are good at that. But if you mean domain-specific machine translation, yeah, I think it could do that too. But again, I would use other models. Just think of this as a big language calculator that you want to produce language to inform or help. But you need to prompt it correctly or it won't work. Snooze. Okay. Roman, you made it from Django. Yeah, you found us out. This is Jinja, I think. Let's see here. Jinja 2. Look at you, Roman. Yeah, see that? We use Jinja because it's something that would be familiar to Python folks. And so what's happening is the inputs. Here's the inputs. Oh, the inputs are down here. This is the age that comes in. And so when I Jinja age, you can see here, that's the variable that's getting put in there, and you can actually see the output. It removes line breaks because they're not necessary. They're a waste of tokens. And so that's what it's putting into the prompt. Which is amazing. Amazing. Great question. What if I get a gazillion tokens all at once? Oof. Then it's over, Janiscu. We need to move into the mountains together and live as our ancestors did in the caves of Africa. Thank you. Windows Copilot. I don't have any information about Windows Copilot. I wish I did. They're a whole other team. Oh, yeah. Look at this one. Qué bueno que hable otros idiomas. Se entrenó dentro de todas las cosas que están en el Internet. El Internet, claro, tiene cosas en otros idiomas. Y los tokens pueden reflejar eso también. Oh, shoot. She just switched me to Spanish. How dare you? No, just kidding. Yeah, because it's trained on tokens across multiple languages. I closed the tokenizer. Let me go to the tokenizer and let me translate something. Translate something to Japanese. Let's see here. Something is awesome. Who won the Eurovision Song Contest in 2023? Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Copy. Beep, 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 beep. Boop. Nihongo desu. Is that good Japanese? Anyone speak Japanese? I don't know if this is good Japanese. Tattoo. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Nihongo desu. All right. So that's pretty cool. Can you use your... No. So that's a really good question, Paul. Can you use your ChatGPT Pro sub to increase the number of tokens? Or token? No, the token limitation is the model limit. It's a model limitation. So, for example, GPT 3.5 Turbo, by design, only has the ability to process 4,000 tokens. GPT 4 has the ability to process 8,000 tokens. GPT 4 32K can process 32,000 tokens. And just to give you a sense, 4,000 tokens I've calculated to be roughly about 7 pages of a Word doc. So you can make an inference about the other things. But yes, it is not like we're holding it back. It's just the model only accepts, because these models are very, like, once you look at them, you know. Here, transformer model diagram. Let's see if we can't find one that's useful. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the one in the actual paper. Attention is all you need. This multi-head attention, the number of vectors that go in, these inputs are fixed by the 35 turbo is 4,000. Good. Is the speed of the model? It's a great question. The speed of the model related to the number of tokens? Yes and no. It's also related to the size of the model. And so when I say yes, you know that the size of the model really is influenced by the number of inputs, but also how many. Oh shoot, we are almost out of time. Oh man, I did not even like show you more prompt flow. What the heck is wrong with me? I gotta put my gosh, I can't wait to get my desktop fixed. I gotta put my walk-off music on here. This is I used to have a button that I would just push and it would just do it. Okay. Here we go. It's my walk-off music. So the question was, let me snooze this. Is the speed of the model? Yes. So that it really is a function of inputs and size of the model, and it takes a long time. All right, friends. Thank you for being patient with us as we sort out our technical difficulties. Hopefully, this is useful. I think it's really useful. Whoa! Look at all these transformers. Wow, is this where transformers comes from? I'll have to look at this. What an interesting thing. Oh, this is the actual diagrams, by the way. Hopefully this was helpful. I think, I don't know. I feel like I should do one of these every week. Like, okay, everybody, welcome to our AA group for understanding what LLMs actually are. My name is Seth, and I've been sober for 3 years from LLMs. Etc. But I think we need to have these more often because, like, I don't know. I feel like once you know what these things do, you know how powerful they are, and they're amazing. They can revolutionize everything we do, everywhere, when it comes to information work. Before, remember, it was machines that brought about the Industrial Revolution because it actually commoditized labor work. Like, instead of having a shovel and using humans to dig ditches, we could, get a backhoe and just take it all out. This will do the same for information work, which is actually really cool. So we can upload. Like, there's some stuff that I just hate writing. I'll give you an example. They were like, "Hey, Seth, I need you to write a title and description of a session that you need." I was like, "Oh, I don't want to write this. I hate writing this crap." And so I made GPT-4 do it. Did a great job. I helped with the keynote. We did a review of video, and they gave me a bunch of notes. I wrote them all down in a notepad because I'm 85, I guess. And what happened was I took the transcription. I uploaded the video to Video Annexer. I downloaded the transcript exactly as it was. I downloaded all the notes, and I told GPT-4, put these together into a meaningful script. And it did. It got about 80% of the way, and then I had to fix the rest. But it sure solves the blank page problem, doesn't it? I mean, it's just absolutely amazing stuff. So once you understand things in its simplicity and what it's actually doing, the mind is just absolutely filled with ideas. You could get it to output structured data. You could get it to output whatever. And so imagine you wanted to output a tree of something and you want to draw a tree. You could tell it to make JSON, and it will. You could tell it to do YAML. It will. It won't be really good. You might get 80% of the way there, but you can actually fix it. Oh, good. Yeah, here's Paul. Yes, I agree. My wheels are turning now since you have pulled back the covers a little One thing I do not think we should be doing is giving it agency. What does that mean by that? You cannot give it real world side effects without human oversight. That's the important thing. That's my suggestion at the moment. Do not let these, because you could make it output code and then execute it if you want to, but that's giving it agency. You should not do that thing. Do that kind of thing with these kinds of models. I don't know. Maybe one week, Peggy, we should do a show on where I just go through this like in an actual bona fide way. Tell people, everyone will show up, and then we can have people ask questions. Okay, next time on the AI show, we are going to be doing a Build 2023 recap responsible AI support for image and text models. Something we were supposed to do last time, but we didn't get to it. Thank you so much for this impromptu AI show. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. As always, if you have any questions or any comments, make sure to send me an email, seth.juarez@microsoft.com, or you can reach to me at Twitter at Seth Juarez. I'm on Blue Sky as well. We also put some of these episodes on Spotify. You can take a listen to them if you're in your car. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.